So the latest on these US figures, they are ratcheting higher and at a pace that is quite aggressive.
Yeah, that's certainly right, Manus. And this is just adding to the global number of confirmed cases, which this week, the Johns Hopkins tally is set to go past 1 million confirmed cases that are officially reported. As you were saying there, I'm in New York, and this has really become the epicenter of the pandemic. And New York and New Jersey, over the past 3 days, said that deaths have doubled. One thing that's happening in New York that doctors are talking about, they're seeing a surprising number of young patients. And that really undermines what we first thought when we started reporting about this at the end of 2019, that the most at risk were those that were older. But actually, the New York City Health Department is saying 1 in 5 hospitalizations are for those under the age of 44. Now, outside the epicenter of New York and the East Coast, we're hearing other states starting to do more in terms of social distancing. Florida being the latest, telling residents to stay at home. This is after weeks of them rejecting to do so. And now that we see more states to kind of pick up on these tallies, the Trump administration is weighing whether or not to halt domestic flights. That would include New York and Miami. President Donald Trump said, quote, where you go from spot to spot, both hot. So basically blocking the flights of some of these hardest hit cities.
Yeah, and Annmarie, meanwhile, we've got a report that US intelligence is suggesting that China has concealed the extent of the coronavirus outbreak in its country. What exactly do we know?
Manus, I think I couldn't actually hear your question there, but I think you wanted to ask me about what's going on in terms of that report, an incredible Bloomberg scoop by Nick Wadhams and Jennifer Jacobs, talking about the fact that the U.S. intelligence community in a classified report said that China has concealed the extent of the outbreak, both underreporting total cases and deaths. 2 of those officials that spoke to Bloomberg said that this basically concludes that the numbers are fake. President Donald Trump was asked about this. He said he didn't see a report, but said that Chinese numbers are light. We've seen a lot of speculation, both inside China and outside China, about whether or not these reporting figures are correct. One is that the government has actually changed the methodology a number of times on how they count cases, and we've known for weeks that they were not counting individuals who were asymptomatic but had the virus. Another thing we've been seeing, really devastating reports of these urns just stacking up outside funeral homes in the Hubei province, where this pandemic began at the end of 2019. And that has drawn a lot of public criticism about Beijing's official numbers. And when you look at the numbers, China right now is 4th in terms of total confirmed cases, coming after the US, Italy, and Spain.